on the other side of adversity, on the other side of obstacles is
Mm,
greatness. So don't run from that. When things seem to be too hard, when the task seems to be too big and the mountain seems to be too tall, climb it, because that's the only way that you achieve greatness. That's when you transcend into greatness, when you're met with an obstacle. So that's what I would tell people. When those obstacles arise, they are only opportunities for you to be great. That's it. Don't let it deter you. Don't turn away from it. You look that obstacle in its face and you let it know that you are going to be successful and you are going to end up on the other side of
Welcome to Sheila's Take, your go-to podcast for thoughtful insights on love, faith, health, fitness, relationships, and navigating today's challenges through a spiritual perspective. Join me, Sheila Dunbar, as we explore various aspects of life with a mindful and godly approach. Tune in for engaging discussions on all things meaningful and transformative. Welcome to Sheila's Take podcast, where I dive deep into the world of entertainment and creative pursuits. I'm your host, Sheila, and today I have the pleasure of welcoming a multi-talented guest with an accomplished career in acting and podcasting. Joining me today is Tyrell James with his extensive acting credits from notable networks like NBC, HBO, TV One, BET, and Discovery. He has proven his versatility and dedication to his craft. But that's not all. Terrell's talent extends beyond the screen. He has had the opportunity to host two remarkable radio shows, The Heart of the City and Breakout Kings Radio. It's showcasing his captivity and engaging hosting skills. Today, Terrell serves as the host of not one, but two captivating podcasts. So let's welcome the multi-talented Tyrell James to Sheila's Take. Welcome, Terrell.
I've never had anybody introduce me like that. From now on, every time I walk into any room, I want you there.
Hey,
Okay.
I could be your hype woman if you'd like. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
That's good.
I just want to again thank you for taking the opportunity to be on my podcast, and I appreciate you. Um, and I love the fact that you have you're so multi-talented, you have so much going on, and I just can't wait to get into, how all this interacts with one another because I know you have to be a busy man. You got a lot going on here.
Yeah, I am pretty busy. And I just want to so remember before we started, I was about to ask you I was about to ask you a question, but I didn't get
Okay.
to the question. I said we will get to it. I wanted to know the bio, where you saw the bio. I couldn't remember if I sent you something or if it was something that was online that you saw.
It was something online.
Okay, so that needs to be updated because it's a lot more stuff that's supposed to be there.
Well, we can talk about that. That's why we're here.
Okay.
We can talk about it right now, right?
Okay, all right, let's do
So
it.
you have an impressive list of acting credits from major networks like HBO and NBC, right?
Right.
Can you share any memorable experiences or highlights from your acting career? How did you get into it? What made you want to do that?
So when I was 10 years old, I was in a play in school.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember where I was standing on the stage, I was looking out into the audience, and I made two decisions at that very moment. Number one, I decided that I wanted to be an actor. And number two, I decided that I wasn't going to college because I wanted to be an actor.
At 10 years
at,
old?
at 10 years old. Yes.
Wow, wow.
Yes. And I stuck with that. I mean, I ended up doing one semester at a community college, but I
Mhm.
did it for my mother. My mother said, just try it. You may get there and decide that you
Yeah.
like it. I went in there very closed-minded. I knew I wasn't going to like it. Me and school and structure and organization, that we just don't mesh well. So
You
I
don't go
just
well together.
no, not at all.
Oh, okay.
But that was when I first discovered my love for acting.
Mm-hmm.
But what happened was I got into the music industry as a rapper.
Oh, okay.
And my So that became my focal point at that, during that time. I had I think it was I had this incredible gift of putting words together.
Mm-hmm.
And it was so it just kind of acting just had to take a back seat at that point because I was traveling a lot for my music career. I was on the radio. I was just working on a lot of things. I ended up on mixtapes and even albums all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Wow.
and doing interviews with people all over the world. But essentially, I decided to walk away from the music industry because they were trying to change me. I had some pretty big name managers as well, and I ended up firing them because,
Wow. Okay.
yeah, that people were trying to change me. And um, I walked away from some opportunities, some pretty big
Yeah.
opportunities.
Yeah.
But for me, it was about being able to look myself in the mirror when I woke
Right.
up in the morning. And that there was no amount of money that was going to make me be okay with not being comfortable with what I saw in the mirror.
Wow.
So I
Wow.
and I'm still making music. I just don't care about a record deal. I don't care if I
Mm-hmm.
make $1 off of it. I have a passion for it. It's therapy for me. So I, and I still can do it on a high level. So I want to continue making music. But then I started acting. The funny thing is when I was able to do my first film, it was because of music. Somebody
Mm.
called me in because they were shooting a movie and they called me in to do the soundtrack. And they wanted me to get a bunch of artists together to do the soundtrack, and they wanted me to also be on the soundtrack, of course. And I said, I want to be an actor. So let me kind of weasel my way in here. So what I did was I told them, I said, look, I want to be on set with you because if I'm on set, then I can kind of get a feel for how the movie's going.
Mm-hmm.
They said, okay, sure, no problem. And then I came on set, and then I'm watching certain things, and then I started giving little ideas about things. Next thing you know, they're like, we want you in this movie. And
Wow.
I was like,
Wow.
you fell for it because that's exactly what I wanted. So
Wow.
then, yeah, I ended up being actually one of the main characters in the movie. They actually rewrote the movie and made me a main character
All
in
right.
that
Now
movie.
I'm gonna stop you right there. I gotta ask what the movie was. Can I ask what the movie was?
Sure, it's called Shining Star, but
Okay.
unfortunately it didn't go anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
It was an independent movie. Um, there were a lot of there was a lot of nonsense.
Yeah.
Some people, it was a lot of people that had their hands on this movie. There were a lot of great people that had their hands on this movie, but then a lot of the wrong people had their hands on the
Yeah.
movie as well,
Okay.
and it didn't get to go where it needed to go.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a shame too because the people, I mean, there were some amazing, amazing people that were a part of this project, and
Wow.
but we just take it as a learning, um, a learning opportunity, and just move on to something else. Um, but yeah, that's really what did it for me. That was my first time being in front of the camera, and I said, okay, It was more fulfilling being in front of that camera than it was ever being on any stage rapping.
I can't imagine.
Yeah.
So which would you so you're saying you enjoyed the acting more than the rapping?
I enjoy um the performance of it
Okay.
more. So I was never a fan of being on stage
Mm-hmm.
rapping. Um I would do it and it was cool, I but when it came to actually performing, I love performing in front of that camera as an actor. And even now I do some motivational speaking as well.
Mm-hmm.
I love being up on stage and speaking to people, or I love being in front of a camera and portraying a role a lot more than being on a stage rapping.
Hmm. You that's interesting. That's very
Mhm.
interesting. Because
Yeah,
some people might think of it the other way around. If I'm correct, you used to host two radio shows,
right.
right?
Yeah,
Now,
yeah.
How did that come about?
So, a friend of mine, also a business partner, we had this idea to do a radio show.
Mm-hmm.
And this was before podcasting started to blow up. And then another friend of ours, a mutual friend of ours, actually got a radio spot and said, "Look, I would love for you to be a host on
Mm-hmm.
on this radio show." So we both came along. There were four of us. Um, that lasted for us anyway. It lasted, I think my friend, he left after 2 months. I probably left after about 2.5, 3 months because we just did not like the way that the show was going.
Okay.
It wasn't what we wanted.
Mm-hmm.
But that sparked something for us. And then he and I went and started our own show. And we started doing that show. We did that show for probably about a year and a half.
Okay.
Um, and then afterwards, I just went through this period of, I know I want to do something. I know I want to do something in the field of radio podcasting, but I just don't know what.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got the idea to start a podcast. It's called the Rorschach Test Podcast. And once I started that, it just kind of went from there. Then I did another podcast, and then another and another. So right now, and this is where I need to update my bio. I now own a media company, and there are 7 podcasts under this media company, and I'm on four, three. I'm on four of them, I believe. Mm-hmm.
Can I ask you a question? And this is
Yes.
how do you manage so many different podcasts? I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I have this one, and it's time consuming.
I
And you're
I
talking about
know,
you're on 4.
right? Um, Timing. You know what? So for me, I'm completely self-employed,
Mm-hmm.
and because of that, I just can make my schedule.
Okay.
I can do
Okay.
whatever I want. But the other side of this is I don't sleep well.
Oh. Well,
I've never slept well. So I'm like, you know what? If I'm not going to be sleeping well, let me use that to my advantage.
right.
Um, and plus, I am at the height of my creativity in the middle of the night anyway. So I can, I wake up and it's a struggle because my body is like, I want to go to sleep,
Yeah.
but my mind is like, I want to create. So there's
That's
just this
taken over. The
struggle. Yeah.
creativity part is taken over.
Yes.
See, I'm the opposite. I'm more of the um I'm the early morning creativity person. I can get up 4 o'clock in the morning and start
Hmm.
it, or something to hit me and I'll start writing because I like to write. I like to journal.
Hmm.
A lot of stuff I do, and I'll get up and I'm like, okay, let me write this down and let me do this. And then next thing I know, I wake up and I look up and it's like 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, oh my
Hmm.
goodness. Now I gotta start the other part of my day. So, but oh, I mean that makes a lot of sense. With all your diverse experiences in acting, hosting, I mean, how do you find the balance between the different creative pursuits?
Um, Balance. Oh, that's a big word right there for me. Because it's difficult. It's very difficult trying to
Yeah.
balance things. I'm gonna be honest with you. Sometimes I drop the ball.
Yeah.
I also have ADHD. I was just diagnosed with ADHD last year,
Mm-hmm.
which I already knew I had it. Like all the signs were there. Um, and that right there also plays a part in having a hard time balancing things as well. But I've learned, um, I've learned the importance of having a team now
Mm-hmm.
because I
Yeah.
was trying to do everything myself for a
Mm-hmm.
while. So now that I have a team and I'm able to say, okay, you take care of this, you take care of this, you take care of this. Now I'm able to bring in people who are far more organized than I am.
Yeah.
So people who are able to balance things, people who can do the things that I don't want to do. Like the technical side of this, I absolutely hate the technical side. I don't want anything to do with the technical side. The marketing and promotions, I want
Mm.
nothing to do with it. I
Yeah.
absolutely hate marketing and promoting.
Really?
I just want to create and own.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
it. I just want to be the owner. I want to be the creator. Um, and of course, there's a lot that comes with being the owner, but yeah, I mean, you got to know your strengths and your weaknesses. And I
Right.
know that my weakness is in promoting and marketing and the technical side.
Hmm. Yeah. One of the things that I am, I am on top of doing my podcast. I am avid in health and I believe that health is wealth and a healthy lifestyle and I train a lot just to be more more healthy and things like that. And one of the things I believe in is uh doing what you don't want to do when you don't want to do it. To me, it's like that's how you succeed in doing things because the more you don't want to do something is to me is like when you need to do it the most. And um like they say, pressure makes diamonds. To
Hmm.
me, that's what it is, because the more I'm doing something that I don't want to do, and it becomes part of my routine, and then it's I'm good at it. I start learning and things like that. But I agree with you with the teams, because right now it's me.
Hmm.
I'm the booking agent. I'm the video editor. I'm everything,
Right.
and
Yeah.
um so it does help, the social media person. So it does help when you have people where you can do all of that. um so let's talk about how did you cross over into doing your media, getting your media company. Is it because of the different projects that you had, you just decided that you would develop that?
Well, I've known for a long time that I wanted to be an owner.
Mm-hmm.
And everything that I do, I try to position myself so that I am an owner. You were talking about the healthy thing. I'm
Mm-hmm.
also a personal trainer.
Oh,
I
okay.
am a master herbalist. I'm a nutritionist. Um, I'm a boxing coach. I do Krav Maga, about to become a Krav Maga instructor, which is a form of combat. It's Israeli military training.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very violent form of combat. um, and I'm a firearms instructor as well. But I am an owner with every single one of those
Wow.
things.
Wow.
So for me, it's like whatever I do, I just have to be in that position of leadership. I have run into false leadership so many times.
Mm-hmm.
And I also I don't like people tell me what to do. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't like it. I am quick. I am very quick to say, "Don't tell me what to do."
Yeah, yeah,
But I don't like being on somebody else's time. I don't
yeah.
like for somebody else to be in control of how much I'm getting paid.
Mm-hmm.
I just I that so that's what it is. That's how it was a no-brainer for me to just become the owner instead of going and trying to be a part of something that's already in place because I have no say. I have
Yeah,
no say. And I feel like, listen, if I have if I can do it, why not do it?
that's
You
right.
know? But I'll say this, going back to what you were saying earlier about doing the things that you don't want to do. I'm the complete opposite. If I don't want to do it, I ain't doing it.
Well, you got a team. You got a team. You could delegate it to your team now.
But you know
But
what though? There's some things that I probably do need to be doing that I don't want to do, so I don't do it.
but come on. I mean, you had to get where you are right now in life. You had to do some things you didn't want to do. Correct?
Um, I mean, if we're talking about a couple extra hours of work and losing some sleep, we're talking about having to maybe travel somewhere that I don't really feel like going.
Mm-hmm.
Um, having to get behind a camera. Remember, I said I don't like the technical part of this, but having
Yeah,
to get
yeah,
behind the camera sometimes, then yeah. But I really don't like to make it a habit of doing things that I don't want to do because I don't want my passions to feel like work.
yeah.
And I do understand there's going to be a certain level of stress that's going to come
Mm-hmm.
with this type of work, and I'm completely fine with that. But I don't want to be so consumed in things that I don't like that this now becomes something that I'm disliking.
Yeah.
Ironically, right before we got on here, I was talking to my son. We were having a similar conversation.
Mm-hmm.
He is an actor, and he just like his daddy, but he is at Howard University,
Mm-hmm.
and his major is acting. And he was just telling me this. He said, I have checked out. He said, this is hard. This is his freshman year. He said, I have checked out. This is hard, and it's about to make me not like acting. And I told him, the funny thing is, I said, we need to have this conversation. We need to talk about this. But I'm gonna call you right back because I gotta hop on this podcast that I'm about to do. So yeah. But I'm trying to get him away from that place, you know,
Yeah.
because he's doing a lot of things that he doesn't want to do.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, so what type of advice would you give to aspiring actors or individuals interested in pursuing a career in broadcasting, whether it's hosting radio shows or podcasting or um, even, being the owner of a broadcasting? What kind of what advice would you give them?
I would tell them that on the other side of adversity, on the other side of obstacles is
Mm,
greatness.
yeah.
So don't run from that. When things seem to be too hard, when the task seems to be too big and the mountain seems to be too tall, climb it, because that's the only way that you achieve greatness. Michael Jordan, for instance, Michael Jordan was, if you just saw him on the basketball court just dribbling and shooting all by himself, you would look at him and you would say that guy's good.
Yeah.
But the thing that made him great was he had other great players in front of him trying to stop him, and they
Mm,
couldn't stop him.
right.
That's when you transcend into greatness, when you're met with an obstacle. So that's what I would tell people. When those obstacles arise, they are only opportunities for you to be great. That's it. Don't let it deter you. Don't turn away from it. You look that obstacle in its face and you let it know that you are going to be successful and you are going to end up on the other side of it.
That's excellent advice. What's next for Mr. Tyrell James? What's on the horizon?
Well, I was thinking about running for president, but
Please,
I got
please,
this.
can you please, please?
And I got this podcast I got to do, so I'm not gonna have time to do.
We please. That's a whole nother podcast right there. Please.
um, I just, right now, of course, I'm still focused on the on the media company and trying to get things going with that.
Hmm.
My firearms business is starting to take off. I'm doing well with that.
Hmm.
So I've honestly, to be completely honest with you, I've been more focused on firearms business than on podcasting lately. I'm also working on music. I'm working on two different albums right now. Well, they're going to be EPs. So I'm thinking about 5 to 6 songs for each one.
Hmm.
And one is called Monster and the other one is called Magnum Opus. So I yeah, so I'm just focused on that. I think I think that I'm going to pursue getting a license for selling medical marijuana. I think that that's what I'm going to do. I'm about to have a conversation with somebody about it,
Hmm.
and I think that that's going to be my plan by the end of the year.
Where you located?
I'm in Maryland. I'm on the
Okay.
eastern shore of Maryland.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
I'm originally from DC, but I moved out here.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Um, what are you grateful for?
I'm grateful for love. I am grateful for support. I have a lot of support around me. My wife, my children, my mother, that support. I mean, my grandson is 4 years old, but he supports me too. Okay, so I mean, but I mean the support that I have, and then I have an incredible group of friends around me
Mm-hmm.
that are extremely supportive, and that I am like very, very grateful for my village,
Yeah.
my village. They keep me grounded. They are um they're honest with me. They're very honest.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that. I don't have any yes men and yes women around me. They're honest. And I love it and I appreciate it.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Hmm.
In any final thoughts, anything you like to say before we close this interview?
Actually, I just want to thank you for reaching out to me and for thinking that I was interesting enough to have on your show. I
Oh,
know
come.
that I
Dude, you don't think you're come on. I mean,
well, no, I think I am. It's just, but this is about, I can think I am all day long, but I need everybody else to think that too, And so I just appreciate you actually thinking that. It's I know with podcasting, we have to be very careful about who we bring on as a guest
yeah,
because this show isn't just about you. This now becomes about that person on the other side of that screen.
that's right.
And you can be as engaging as possible, but if that other person is bombing, or
Mm-hmm.
if that person just does not have a story that's interesting enough, you're going to lose viewers. So I thank you, for thinking that I was going to be interesting enough to have on the show.
Oh, come on, come on. I knew you were. I mean, and again, we need to tell a lot of these stories. A lot of listeners need to hear that people can be successful. People, you don't have to have a 9 to 5. And like you said, you college wasn't for you. Look what you accomplished, and you went to 1 year college.
No, one semester.
One sem one
Actually,
semester.
Actually, I did 8 weeks out of the semester. I showed up. I mean, I completed the semester, but I only actually showed up to class 8 weeks out of the semester.
Oh, you really
And
didn't like it.
oh no, I only showed up. The worst thing they could have done was give me a syllabus letting me know when I needed to turn in papers. I had 3 classes. Well, I had 2 classes.
Hmm.
One was a freshman orientation class, the first day of class. The guy said, for the next 16 weeks, your Saturdays are mine. Raised my hand. Hey, I left something in my car. Can I go get it? He said, sure. Never saw me again. Seriously? Saturdays? I come to school
Saturday.
Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. You don't get my Saturdays. Get out of here. And then I had a math class and English class. The English class was all writing, and I'm a writer. Oh, that's the other thing. I have 7 published books as well.
And you
So,
don't come on. Why wouldn't you think that you wouldn't be, I mean, that people you wouldn't want you on their show? You have a lot going on. I mean, you when you say when I say multi-talented, you are multi-talented. I mean, you're in everything.
yeah, thank you. You know what? I always say I don't believe that God gave me the gift of writing or acting or rapping. He just gave me the gift of creativity and told me, do
Hmm.
with that what you will. And so going back to what I'm grateful for God, honestly. And I'm
Oh,
grateful for the gifts that he blessed me with because, I know it's one thing for people to, read the books or see the acting or watch the podcast or hear the music and they're like, "Oh my gosh, this is so great," but this isn't my gift. I mean, this isn't my time. This is from him.
yeah.
I'm just the vessel here, So I yeah, I'm humbled by, the gift that he has given me. So
Well, I thank you. I thank you, Mr. Tyrell James. I thank you for sharing your gifts with the world. How can my listeners get in touch with you, or you have an Instagram, a website? So if they want to order your books, can you give us that information?
yes, so I'm going to give you a few different things. Hopefully I don't forget anything. But
Mm-hmm.
okay, so my Facebook page is the easiest way to probably contact me. It through Messenger. Actually,
Okay.
Facebook and Instagram, but we'll start with Facebook. So Facebook is it's called The Terrell Show.
The Terrell
So
Show.
yeah,
Okay.
so but The Terrell is one word, so it's TheTyrell space show. So The
Okay.
Terrell Show on
Mm-hmm.
Facebook. Instagram is at Relic Media, and Relic is spelled RELLIC. I believe it's
RELLIC.
yeah, it's two L's because it's from my name Terrell.
Okay.
Yeah, I named it after myself. So plus my rap name was Ransom Relic,
Okay.
which I shortened to R. Relic. But so yeah, so it's Relic underscore media, and remember it's two L's in Relic. Um, my website is relicmedia.com.
Okay.
My YouTube page is Relic Media. And if there's anybody that's in my area that's watching the show and you want firearms training and you want your concealed carry, then then my website is deepwatersft.com.
Deep
And
waters. What about training? Yeah, I know you said you were a personal trainer.
I'm honestly trying to get away from that right now.
Okay. Okay.
Um, I'm transitioning from that to focusing more on firearms and just combat period, self-defense, with Krav Maga and boxing
Okay.
and things like that. So but I mean if anybody's interested in any of those things, then you can still just hit me up on Facebook, and we can make that happen. But oh, and then Instagram, my thing is Deep Waters. I think it's Deep Waters Firearms Training on on
Instagram.
Instagram.
Okay.
Yes. I think that's everything. You want my social? A lock of my hair? Like what else? Like I don't.
I mean, that's a lot. I mean, you got a lot going on there, Terrell. A lot. But I appreciate you. And I'm gonna make sure that all your information is available for my listeners. So if they want to reach out to you and if anyone in the Maryland area, I know a couple of people actually in that area. So definitely if they're interested in firearms, I'll definitely have them reach out to you. Um,
Okay.
but thank you so much for taking the time to just come on my show, my podcast, and spread your energy and just your knowledge and I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And thank you. And also thank you for just showing the world the strength and the beauty of our Black women. I
Oh,
appreciate you for
oh,
that.
thank you. Thank you so much.
You're
Take
welcome.
care.
All right, you too.
Until next time, remember to embrace the journey, build lasting connections, and step boldly into all that life has in store for you. I'm your host, Sheila Dunbar. Blessings to you.